Is Crohn's disease caused by anger, frustration, and annoyance? The answer is yes and no. When we first start learning German New Medicine was created by Dr.Hamer. He was a brilliant doctor who could look at someone's brain CT scan and know exactly what was wrong with them, what health conditions that they had. And so he said Crohn's is caused by an indigestible morsel conflict experienced as anger. And now, when we first hear that, one might think that, oh, the things that I get angry about are causing my Crohn's. And that's not 100% correct, and it will be hard to get results with that mindset. So instead, I want to share with you how to really think about this. So, a morsel is something important to my survival. I need this pen. This pen right now is important to your survival. If I don't have this pen, I can't explain to you this life-saving advice. I can't make this YouTube video and get views on YouTube. Like, this pen is important to my survival. And my brainstem, this program's controlled from our brainstem, the oldest part of the brain. It's like, think about Pac-Man. It's concerned with getting those little pellets. If he doesn't get enough of those pellets before the time runs out, the game's over. And we're playing that exact same game. If I don't get enough things to increase my survival before my time runs out, I die. So what do the intestines do? What does the small intestine do? It digests and absorbs and it absorbs things. What are some things that you need every day for your survival? Do you need, like, love from family members? Do you need money? Maybe you need time. Maybe you need friends. Maybe you're a mobster and you need respect. These are all things that somebody might need to aid their survival. And when a person doesn't get these things, they're going to have an emotional response depending on how they subconsciously feel. Their subconscious does this calculation and they try to calculate how dire the situation is. Am I going to feel angry or sad if I don't get enough love from my partner? Am I going to feel angry or sad if I don't get enough money? Think about it. What is the thing that's determining whether you're going to feel angry or sad? We don't understand what emotions are at their core. Emotions are feelings inside us that push us towards things that help increase our survival and pushes us away from things that decrease our survival. So anger is an emotion reserved for when we feel like something is threatening our survival and we have a fighting chance of defeating it. So, let's say, I get fired from a job and that makes me angry, but I feel like on some level I can fight this threat. Maybe I can talk to the manager and stay on the company. Maybe I can go find work somewhere else. Maybe somebody gets fired and they don't even care because they didn't like the job anyway and they got a new job in the work, so they feel happy. Or maybe they think, wow, oh man, I don't have any skills to get a new job. I'm not going to have any money. And they feel sad. We feel sad and depressed when we feel like there's something threatening our survival, yet we don't have a solution. Like we don't have a fighting chance. So Crohn's disease, what happens with Crohn's disease is so let's say this person loses their job and they're upset about it. It was unexpected. Now the person's colon and their brainstem is going, oh my God, I don't have enough money. I can't digest this money. I can't absorb this money. If they feel like they can't absorb this money, then the intestines are going to develop flat growths, which aid with absorption. These extra gut cells help aid with absorption. If the person feels like they can't digest the money, then it will create cauliflower growths, and you'll see this as polyps when you do a colonoscopy and on scans and stuff like that. And this aids with digestion. And Hamer actually did an experiment with stomach cells, and when he tested out these extra stomach cells, they digested food 10 times faster than normal stomach cells. So whenever this person, what are some events that can affect this person's ability to digest and absorb money? Bills. Maybe their kid ran up the phone bill. They were texting, and they were, this is the way it was when I was little. If you texted too much or were on the phone too much, you would have this huge phone bill. Maybe the car breaks down. Maybe something in the house breaks. Maybe there's a hospital bill. Maybe the bonus doesn't come through. Maybe the bank account gets freezed. These are all things that affect the person's ability to get a thing that is important to their survival. And then this thing up here, the brainstem, puts the intestines into overdrive to help digest and absorb more money. And this person might feel angry about the car. They might feel angry about the house. But let's say their bank account gets closed and there's nothing they can do about it, and all these things happen. They're so worn down. At some point, they'll feel fearful. They'll feel sad. They'll feel depressed. So the way to get over our Crohn's, it's not about like not being angry anymore. It's about, because anger is just a result of the conflict. How do we make money more absorbable in our lives? Maybe this person, this looks bad on paper, but maybe this person's playing too much World of Warcraft, and they're neglecting their financial duties. The situation can change depending on the person's lifestyle. Maybe it's a perception shift. I've seen people make $1 million, $2, $3 million a year, and the littlest financial things really get under their skin and make them angry. So usually in these cases, there needs to be a perception shift. Some people do this with the help of their religion, the faith that they follow. And then there actually needs to be some practical solutions, like, hey, get a better job. Hey, learn more skills so you can get a better high-paying job. Your symptoms can get in the way of that as well. But there's also part of making this conscious connection that stops the brain from putting the gut into overdrive when these things happen. Like, okay, this all started when I lost my job. And then when I got my new job, so during the conflict active phase, this builds extra gut cells. And you don't feel anything. And then when you get a new job and money is no longer an issue, we don't need these extra gut cells anymore, and they get removed. That hurts. That hurts a lot. We're removing extra flesh from the body. But then the symptoms might get in the way of making money, because now the person can't even show up to work. And becomes this vicious cycle. Whereas if this person knew that they're in the post-conflict resolution phase, and they just have to ride out the symptoms, and then they'll be able to go back to work in just a few days. They remain calm, and this doesn't keep recycling itself back over and over again. And then when something happens with money and they start to get that anger, you go, oh, okay, subconscious mind. Anger is not the best way to respond with this. And yeah, we can respond to this in an angry manner, but please don't put my gut into overdrive. Please don't do that. It's not helping. I can consciously take care of this now. Whereas a few years ago, maybe I wasn't able to. Now I can. Thank you for your help. Let's move forward without putting my gut into overdrive. Just let it function normally. Thanks. This is how this works. I know this sounds ridiculous. This is just how this is just how it is. So start to document the things that make you angry. Start to document what you're doing right before you get symptoms. This thing is angry. It's a piece of crap. I want to eject it from my life. All right, you got it. says the brain, and then it gives you diarrhea to eject this crappy thing from your life. How is this crappy thing affecting your absorption of money? How is your crappy car affecting your absorption of money? How is your crappy job affecting your absorption of money? How are these crappy bills, your crappy house, affecting your absorption of this thing important to your survival? And if you have diarrhea, that's usually you respond to the crap in your life getting in the way of something important to your survival with anger. And if you're more on the constipated side, you are fearful you're not going to have enough money, and your colon and your intestinal muscles are holding on to that money to absorb as much value out of it as possible, and you're going to have a sad, hopeless, depressed response to, the bank holding your money, to the house, something breaking in the house, to some crazy bill, to the car not working. That's how this works, okay? If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'm also doing free consultations, so go down in the description and click if you want to do a free consultation. It's really easy to get better. All you got to do is address the root cause, guys. Bye-bye.